Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back
We
to
survived.
You Survived. Yeah.
Barely.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So this is the post episode discussion or series discussion of Tails and Tales, a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Some questions about the series and about Dungeons and Dragons adventures. So let's go ahead and jump into just kind of chatting about the show a little bit. Watching back through it after having played it yourself, what do you guys think of the series?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was super fun playing it. Watching it's been great too, but like playing it, time went so fast. We had a blast.
Yeah.
Playing it was definitely much more fun. I've enjoyed watching it back, but I'm still left with the same feeling. Wow, we actually survived.
How did that happen?
I can't believe we weren't eaten by sharks.
That
Yeah.
was actually my first time playing like with actual dice and an actual map.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Everything else has been all online.
Yeah.
Sure,
That's cool.
sure. Well, what was your favorite part of the show watching it back?
I liked the part where like we're on the lake.
It's tough to beat the totally tubular surfing bra, but I actually loved when you got your wings back, when you could fly again. That was probably the coolest part. I did not see that coming, and that was pretty sweet.
Could have happened a little bit earlier. That would have been cool.
Yeah, you know, it's funny
I gave you the
considering.
feather in pretty much the
I had
first
no idea.
part.
Right,
But I had
yeah.
to fall, I think. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
If I had just like fall backwards holding it, maybe. But
Unfortunately, we haven't seen the whole video looking back, because I'm anxious to see the part because. for
Yeah,
me-
we're recording this before the
Yeah.
last couple
So-
episodes come out.
For me, you know, one of the things I liked the most was when I finally got my honey bear, companion.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
Spoilers,
It's just
Honey Bear was the
literally
MVP.
like
Yeah.
the most overpowered.
Sort of destroying
But,
stuff.
but I also like the video I just saw last time where I managed to save somebody's life with an ice cream cone.
Oh, yeah, that's
'Cause you
great.
can't beat that.
Oh yeah, homebrew stuff is always very fun. So like looking back at your character, kind of watching yourself in another person, I guess. What did you guys think of your characters watching through it and versus playing it?
that was my first time playing a rogue, and I think playing a rogue is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I guess everything about a rogue is fun. Sneaking around, dashing in and out of places.
I think the role play opportunities with a bard are fantastic. I wish I had embraced them more and either come up with more cat jingles or different variations of meow 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 meow. I could have gone a lot deeper in that, but if anybody ever wants to embrace the role playing, the bard is the way to go. Watching it back is fun.
I was pretty happy with Theobald. I felt I played him appropriately by hiding in my shell as often as possible. Seemed like that's what
Turtles
he was doing.
I really like turtles now.
Turtles are really
Venturing
funny.
with one, really cool.
Oh yeah, I know. I love just like you have an armor class of 17 immediately, and that's pretty awesome. Well, speaking of armor class and just Dungeons and Dragons in general, I keep on wanting to say Dungeons and Dragons Adventure because I said that so much editing these videos over the last few months. How long have each of you been playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Start in the middle.
Okay, well, I've been playing for about 40 years.
Wow.
With the first edition that came out in a box set with the rules and a pamphlet.
Yeah. What was your first ever character? Do you remember?
Vaguely. I remember it was an elf character, and I remember we were in Seth Rinsberger's parents' RV that was parked in the weeds out behind his barn. That was where we went to play, and that was the first time I ever actually played the adventure. So. Shout out to Seth, who I'm sure isn't watching this, but
And his parents.
yeah.
And their RV?
I've only been playing D&D for about a year. Started, during shutdown. A few of us here at work were like, well, what are we supposed to do now? And I'm like, well, let's play Dungeons & Dragons online.
I've mostly been playing Pathfinder, very similar cousin for those of you that are not familiar, but about 5-6 years now. We've basically been in one campaign there and we're trying to get to the end. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons really just for the last couple years, but they're very similar.
Yeah. How did you each learn how to play? So you, Doug, you kind of talked about it a little bit, what was the experience of originally learning how to play?
Well, back when I learned it, relatively easy, although, everything was analog.
The books weren't quite as thick back then, huh?
The Monster Compendium was very, very thick.
Oh, really?
That one, yes. So, and they came with modules and so we had our version of the electronic thing that made it fairly easy, but yeah.
You just sat down and played. We were lucky in our group. We had Brennan and Doug, and so Doug knows I play D&D. Brennan is probably more of I've read every single rule there is, so I understand it. And so if I was like, I want to do this, and they'd be like, well, just roll this die and add this number, and you're like, okay.
We started with a beginner box for Pathfinder because we all had no idea what we were doing, and it had like a little tiny preset adventure and how to build characters, and so that was really helpful, and we totally fumbled our way through it, but that was kind of part of the fun, is we're all like, hey, we have no idea what we're doing, this is total chaos, and so we just rolled with that, and that's pretty much then just continued for, 5 years since, so it's a lot of fun.
What's your favorite thing about D&D or tabletop games in general? Or, well, tabletop RPGs, I guess, speaking of.
I love the freedom that comes with it, because you can literally do or try to do anything you want. You can be super serious, you can be absurd. Normally that's where I try to lean, and so I just think that whenever somebody kind of gives me a funny look like, you play Dungeons and Dragons, it's just like a more interactive book, it's like a more interactive video game, any type
storytelling.
of lore, storytelling that
Yeah.
you can get into, you just get to shape it more, so like I can't rave about it enough.
Yeah, the progress and the experience of just playing it is what makes it fun. You do build your own story. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's also like the randomness of dice.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Like no matter how good you are at something, it's easy to kind of fail. So you have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, but who knows if it's actually going to work.
Right.
Well,
those,
yeah.
And those are the best moments a lot of times, because you're like, oh, I've got a great plan, this is going to be awesome, we are totally prepared for this, and then it just goes sideways, and so you just have to totally roll with surfboards across a lake, and then dying on surfboards with sharks, and you never know what to expect.
Honestly, I thought I was going to kill you guys there. I was like, how am I going to end this if I accidentally kill you on the way to... But that actually, I mean, that could be really funny in its own right. Is like...
He was their friend all
story of
along.
redemption.
Yeah, oh, man.
Nice.
That would have been good. I should have thought of that.
Next time.
Yeah. Next year, we'll all meet back. Lionel Witchy's the good guy now.
Yeah.
No.
We're the bad guys?
Well, I think we always were.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are in D&D, you kind of are the bad guys. I mean, there's a lot of violence in it. I mean, a lot of times, and at least the games that I've played. And so it's like, I don't know. But anyway, so if you were talking to a brand new player or somebody that's just really interested in learning more about it, or they're getting ready to play their first time or something, what advice would you give to a brand new player?
The advice you used to always give a brand new player was play a fighter. They're super simple. You don't have to worry about spells. Just play a fighter. Just play a fighter, learn the game, then play something else next time. But you can't really say that anymore, because as we pointed out, just about everybody, including fighters, have the ability to cast spells now, and the rules are a lot more complex than they were 40 years ago. A lot more complex. Which actually I like, though, because it's actually made the game just more powerful. The players more powerful, what they face more powerful, so that's really good. So I don't know what my advice would be. I think it would still be sort of the same thing. Just what do you pick a character that interests you and play? You're never going to learn it unless you just sit down and play it.
I don't know that I'd recommend someone play like a human fighter. Like, play what you think is cool that you're going to have fun to play.
So you should enjoy it.
I mean, unless a human fighter sounds really cool.
I
In
mean,
which case
human
you should
fighters
totally do
are
that.
Yeah.
Cool characters, really. But
Yeah.
See, I would second that idea. Just play something that you think you'll enjoy. Sometimes you don't, you learn by doing, but yeah, if you just try to streamline it, maybe you're somebody that really would enjoy something more complicated. And then I would say don't shy away from leaning into the parts that aren't just combat too, because that's kind of what I thought going in, is like, oh, it's only fighting and dice rolling and stuff, but like you can have hilarious stories or super amazing like backstory, or just be really great at non-combat stuff if you want to. So like just try and embrace any part of it that you like.
If you've got a decent DM, you can they can build a lot on a backstory. So
Sure.
And just think of the Lord of the Rings and what's your favorite character from Lord of the Rings, and then try to
It's a good start.
build that character.
So everybody's a ranger, I guess.
Legolas.
Yeah. All right.
Gandalf was the coolest.
See,
Come on.
like,
See, I would take either one, but I'm not touching any
I want to be
fighters.
Gollum, so what am I? I'll play one of the monsters, I guess. No, that's great.
a gnome rogue, right?
He was a hobbit. What?
Gollum wasn't a hobbit, was
Yes,
he?
he was.
Oh,
Well, that's the theory, is that he,
Well,
was,
so-
he was a halfling that had gone bad.
So a halfling rogue would be Gollum, right?
There you go.
yeah.
I guess. Anything else that you guys want to say to all the people that watched the series all the way through, or just talking about library stuff in general?
I would just say if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, we do have some things here for you to check out that you can look through or find a group of friends and start, so you don't have to invest as much, or there's free places online to play, but having some of those books and things are really helpful. So feel free to come in and see what we got.
Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks, guys, so much for playing the goofy story that I came up with, and thanks so much to everybody who watched along, with us throughout the whole series. If you have any other questions, of course, always reach out to us. If you have, an interest in maybe printing your own minis, maybe you can stop by the Digital Den, and we can see if we can help you out with that. And we'll see you around the library. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.